Picture April 3, 2016, the finals of the T20 World Cup. West Indies needs 19 runs against England in the final over to win, and almost everyone in the stadium assumes the match is already over. Then, Carlos Brathwaite steps up and hits 4 consecutive sixes, clinching the championship in 4 deliveries. When reporters asked how he pulled off such an improbable feat, Brathwaite gave a completely clinical answer. He had developed an automatic habit of hitting sixes through endless practice. You see the exact same pattern in Olympic swimming. Michael Phelps dominated the water by relying on an unbroken sequence of heavily drilled daily routines. On the football pitch, Cristiano Ronaldo executes flawless strikes because he has programmed his physical responses through thousands of repetitions. Even Lionel Messi's seemingly spontaneous playmaking relies on highly automated reactions that bypass conscious thought. Peak performance across disciplines relies on heavily practiced habits taking over. The conscious brain is simply too slow to execute at that level. Think about the last time you decided to learn to code or start going to the gym. You commit, but by day 7 or 10, you quit entirely. This line graph maps your motivation over time and shows exactly why that happens. Over the first 3 days, a massive spike of dopamine pushes your drive to its absolute peak, making the new action feel totally effortless. But look at the graph at the day 7 mark. The motivation line crashes back to baseline, while the line representing your physical effort remains high. Psychology calls this shaded area the expectation gap. Your brain looks at the intense daily effort you are putting in, sees no immediate physical results, and registers the imbalance as acute disappointment. Because biological excitement always fades, relying on it to carry you through the first few weeks of a new routine guarantees failure. We need a completely different mechanism to survive the drop. Author James Clear argues that every action you take functions as a vote for the type of person you believe you are. If you quietly believe you are a lazy person, forcing yourself to wake up at 5 a.m. creates intense psychological friction. Your brain naturally avoids this discomfort, triggering a state of cognitive dissonance. Stanford behavior research points to a cleaner solution. Abandon strict numerical targets in favor of a gradual shift in your self-image. Instead of telling yourself you want to lose 10 kilos, tell yourself you are someone who takes care of their health. When you align your internal identity with the behavior, the brain stops resisting. The action transforms from a daily fight into your natural state. Many people attribute their failed routines to a lack of willpower, treating discipline as a fixed character trait. Neuroscience tells a different story. Willpower acts like a physical battery. Every choice you make drains it, eventually leaving you with acute decision fatigue. The solution is to remove the need for choices entirely by building a concrete system. Plan the exact time, the specific location, and the precise tracking method for your new behavior well in advance. Institutional research from Duke University reveals exactly how powerful this automation is for our daily lives. This pie chart illustrates their central finding. Up to 45% of our daily actions belong to this detached wedge, representing automated habits rather than conscious choices. Long-term success relies on constructing a framework that operates in the background, eliminating the daily burden of making the right choice. Even a flawless internal system will collapse if the physical world around you constantly fights against it. Reports from the Stanford Behavior Lab show that physically shaping your surroundings yields far better results than trying to generate internal drive. If your goal is to eat healthier, relying on discipline to ignore the snacks in your pantry is a losing strategy. You have to remove the heavily processed food entirely. By engineering your physical space, you make the correct behavior the path of least resistance, effectively outsourcing your discipline to your living space. Research from University College London provides the actual timeline for this process. It takes roughly 66 days to wire a new behavior permanently into your brain. Surviving a 2-month horizon is impossible if you depend on chemical excitement to pull you through. To bridge that gap, follow 3 strict rules. First, ignore your fluctuating emotions and execute your planned schedule. Second, stop focusing on massive physical transformations and slowly shift your self-belief to become 1% better each day. Third, restructure your physical surroundings so that slipping back into old patterns requires active, difficult effort. Achieving elite performance relies on the quiet, daily alignment of your identity, your systems, and your environment. What specific habit will you start building today using this framework? Let me know down in the comments. Stay curious, keep learning, and I'll see you